Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. Going to read through the majority of the article here. There is a link in the description. I'm a little bit slow in doing a standalone report on this case. This happened Wednesday morning in California. A man has been charged with attempted murder. He crashed into around 70 law enforcement recruits. He plowed into the group whilst they were on a morning run. He injured 25 law enforcement recruits. We're going to watch a short video. I'll play that now, but I'll give you a trigger warning. The video has been edited, so we're not going to see the actual impact, but we're going to see just prior to that. There's no audio. So I'll just set the scene for you. So here are the group of law enforcement recruits. They're all wearing white t-shirts. So they're running along the road in a pack. This car you can see here, where I'm circling here, there's a car there, and it's driving on the wrong side of the road. And it's driving towards these guys. Now, witnesses say that they suspect, it's not known 100% at this point in time, but they suspect that the driver actually sped up, actually accelerated as it came closer to the pack of recruits, the group of recruits. Now we'll see in just a moment that the recruits at the beginning of the pack, at the front of the pack, they're able to see the car coming, albeit at quite some speed. They're able to at least attempt to jump out of the way, to run out of the way. I would say some of them managed to do that. However, not all of them. Again, 25 injured, 5 in critical condition. The article mentions loss of limb. Many have suffered life-altering injuries, so that could be inability to walk fully, properly, or that severe damage to their limbs. So we're going to play this, so I'll give you a quick trigger warning, but it is edited out by ABC7, have edited it out, so we're not going to see the actual impact. So it pauses it there, and then we see the aftermath. Apparently the SUV crashed into a pole and came to a complete halt. The driver... There we go. I mean, that was a little bit closer, more zoomed in. The driver was arrested at the scene. His name is Nicholas Joseph Gutierrez, 22 years of age. So we'll have a look at him in just a second. So pretty harrowing scenes. That car, the SUV, just plows in. Now they did a breathalyzer on him. He had 0 alcohol in his system. However, there was marijuana in the car, and he claims that he was sleepy. So we know for a fact that he was driving on the wrong side of the road, and it's suspected, some of the witnesses say, that they feel that he may have accelerated the closer he got to the group of law enforcement recruits. Some have said that they feel that he accelerated. So the aftermath was described as being similar to the aftermath that one would have following a plane crash, debris everywhere, and the injured everywhere. Here is the guy. There's a couple of pictures of him. Here he is. He's bloodied up. He was taken into custody, and he's being charged with attempted murder of law enforcement recruits. I believe that wasn't the initial charge, but that is the charge at this point in time. And I've got to say that I'm a little bit perturbed. We see another picture here. And, okay, he's just been involved in a car crash. And I believe he's claiming that it was an accident. Sorry, officers, I didn't see that group of 70 law enforcement recruits. Didn't know they were there on their morning run. Didn't know. It was a complete accident, is what he's been saying, I believe. But even so, I'm very, very perturbed very perturbed by the casualness of the situation. The fact that he's not in handcuffs. He's being treated with kid gloves by the look of it by the other officers. Look, here's another officer, right? And he's treating this guy as if he's a complete innocent party by the look of it. That's my take on it. Oh, sorry, sir. Were you involved in a car accident? Let me give you some aid. And to me, that just doesn't seem appropriate, given he bowled into a group of 70 plus law enforcement recruits. I mean, look, I guess I'm a little bit close to advocating a heavy hand from the police. I think that is what I'm advocating. If it were me, if I were the police officer, I would have yanked this guy out of his car, and we can see the wreckage. We can see the wreckage of the vehicle. I would have yanked him out, and I would have, yanked his arms behind his back, handcuffed him. I would not be treating him with kid gloves. I'd be rather angry that he just drove into a pack of law enforcement recruits at speed. So yeah, he crashed into a pole after going through the pack. 25 injured, 5 critically injured. Hopefully there won't be any fatalities, but there has been loss of limb, and many of the injured, 25 injured, many of them are going to face life-altering injuries. They're not going to be able to, they're not going to be the same. Perhaps they're not going to be able to participate in the law enforcement career that they were working towards, law enforcement recruits. So, of course, full condolences to all of the victims and to the victims' families. We're not aware of any GoFundMes. Typically, there aren't GoFundMes for law enforcement officers. I wonder if that could be an exception in this case because they are recruits. Perhaps that would allow them to have an exception. I would like for these guys to be able to have a GoFundMe to help cover their costs. So there is this little section of video here, and this is showing us that, I'm going to say a SWAT team, perhaps that isn't a SWAT team, but these police officers here that are in riot gear or whatever, however you would describe the particular armor they're wearing, they've gone to the premises of where the driver, Nicholas Joseph Gutierrez, lives, and to apprehend him. So my understanding is they wanted to search the property, and this is speculation on my part, but they wanted to search the property to see if there was any evidence, perhaps on any electronic devices, that the driver, Nicholas Joseph Gutierrez, perhaps he did this on purpose, and perhaps there would be some clues on any of his electronic devices or notebooks or such, some anti-police rhetoric or such. So they did search the premises. So the article hasn't really explicitly stated. My guess is that... oh, hang on. No, he was taken into custody at the scene of the crash, which happened along Mills Avenue in Whittier on Wednesday morning. And he was charged with attempted murder. Okay, so I don't know. There he is. He's doing his sobriety tests, which he passed. Perhaps the police had to treat him with kid gloves to be able to perform those tests. And then, I don't know. I just hope that the police took the kid gloves off at a certain point. This is a guy that we know as a fact drove into a pack of law enforcement recruits. He was driving on the wrong side of the road. Potentially, he was accelerating towards them. Now, even if this was an accident, and I don't feel it was myself, he's been charged with attempted murder, but even if this was an accident, the guy is negligent. Yeah? So I would not treat this guy with kid gloves. He's injured 25 law enforcement recruits. I would like to see this guy get, I don't know, a taste of his own medicine. So I'm going to wrap things up here at this point before I say other things which are going to be untoward. But I've pretty much told you everything. So the recruits were wearing white t-shirts. They were driving around in a formation. This guy driving a Honda SUV slams right into them. So I've given you all the information there. So I'm going to wrap things up. Take care.